Welcome to a class on Introduction to Mass Media Ethics. I am your Professor Rachel Khan of the UP Journalism Department. We need heroes, not icons. The media greatly affects a large number of persons, directly or indirectly. Thus, as media practitioners, whether prepared for it or not, we command a considerable amount of power and influence in both the minds and actions of a significant number of the citizenry. The goals of the course is first to stimulate the moral imagination. This means that we put ourselves in the shoes of a media practitioner facing a particular problem with the goal of developing our moral reasoning, that is, thinking about a solution to a possible future problem. Second, recognize ethical issues. 50% of the solution is recognizing what the ethical dilemma is. By knowing the problem, we can look for, or we would know what the right track to follow in looking for a solution. The third is to develop analytical skills. Using the principles we will learn in this class, and using our moral reasoning, we can now think of the solution that will lead to ethical actions. And this leads to number four, which is to elicit a sense of moral obligation and personal responsibility. As media practitioners, we have to realize our impact on society and that our actions have a long lasting effect. And therefore, especially as UP students, we have to have a personal responsibility and a moral obligation to serve society. And fifth is to learn when to tolerate disagreements. There is no one solution to a given problem, and by discussing it and learning from our elders, we might be able to find a better solution than what we had originally thought of. The teaching of ethics can be traced back to Socrates in 400 BC, as recorded by his student Plato. What is ethics? There are two words that are normally interchanged in today's language: moral and ethics. Moral comes from the Latin word mors moris, which means way of life, while ethics comes from the word ethos, which means character, or the values that distinguish a person from others. For the Greeks, to be ethical is to be a person of good character. Socrates defined ethics as the science of good and evil. In the university, we define ethics as the branch of philosophy that deals with the moral component of human life. There are several sciences that deal with man. Ethics deals with the moral component of man, while anthropology studies the origin of the human body and the development of culture. Biology studies man as a living organism. Psychology studies the process of the intellect and will, and sociology studies the structure and attitudes of social groups. Why is a course on ethics part of the curriculum? What do you learn from ethics that you do not learn, or is not the primary concern of other media courses? Think about it. Right. Other courses talk about skills, while ethics talks about responsibility. In other words, not everything that one can do, one ought to do. There are three main branches of ethics which we will be discussing in an overlapping manner. The first is metaethics, which concerns itself with the characteristics and nature of ethics, that is, how we can come to know the right from wrong and what distinguishes moral and ethical values such as truthfulness, loyalty, and compassion from those that involve matters of taste and attitudes. Second, normative ethics is concerned with the development of general theories, rules, and principles of moral conduct. It also concerns itself with the development of industry codes of ethics. Applied ethics deals with the problem solving aspect of ethics using insights from metaethics and normative ethics. Here we discuss issues such as stereotyping, misrepresentation, and plagiarism. Why is there a need for ethics? First is to contribute to social stability. If everyone behaved ethically and responsibly, then there would be no need to protest, nor would there be conflicts, because people will be treated more fairly, and therefore this will lead to greater peace and order, leading to a more stable society. Second, establish a moral hierarchy. Every situation is different. Therefore, sometimes principles may appear as if they are conflicted, when in fact the media practitioner needs to establish what should be the more dominant value given the situation. Third is resolves conflict. Once we figure out what the more dominant value is given a situation, then conflict can easily be resolved and we would know how to act. And finally, it helps clarify values. When we act ethically, we establish ourselves as ethical media practitioners and reinforce the value system in ourselves and within our organization. The path to building character is not always easy, as Calvin here learns.